Hello, my dear people. It's so good to be back here again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Yes, and don't forget that this is Saffron Media, and we are here to give you the best, the most trending, exciting, reliable, and authentic happenings in Nigeria, especially in the area of politics and many more. So ensure you stay tuned, relax, enjoy, and get the best from here. And yes, don't forget that Samuel Ortom of Benue State has decided to go that is a threatened legal action uh, to the president, Muhammadu Buhari. Yes, remember he has done this before when he said he was going to ensure that he takes the president to court. That was when he was attacked by the Fulani headsmen back then. He said because the president was not taking it seriously when he told him that he was attacked by the Fulani headsmen, he said he was going to make it legal. And this time around, why is it taking the precedent? Why is it taking a legal step again this time around? Well, we'll find out in this report, but please ensure you subscribe. If you're coming here for the first time, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you can get updated anytime we drop a new video. All right, guys, without further ado, let us get right into the details of this report. Yes, right here it says that the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, has insisted on dragging President Muhammadu Buhari before a competent court if the federal government goes ahead with the plans to implement the grazing reserve policy. This is coming on the heels of Buhari's approval of recommendations of a committee to review 368 grazing sites across 25 states in the country to determine the levels of encroachment. The President Directive followed his approval of the recommendations of a committee chaired by the Chief of Staff to the President Ibrahim Gambari. Among others, the committee had recommended the collection of field data on 368 grazing reserves across 25 states to assess encroachment and encroachers, stakeholders' engagement and sensitization. Reacting to the approval in an interaction with newsmen in Makurdi, the state capital, on Sunday, Ortom insisted that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria supersedes the Northern Nigeria law that provided for grazing reserves, and as such, the imposition of grazing reserves in states is illegal. He maintained that Benue State, under his watch, would not accept the grazing reserve policy, stressing that his state would not concede any of its land for the policy. The truth is that if the entire country had accepted ranching, then why is Mr. President insisting on open grazing when there is no land for such? In the 50s, when this policy was initiated, what was the population of Nigeria? It was less than 40 million, but today we are more than 200 million. The 923 square kilometers is not even enough to cater for the population. The reason Mr. President is insisting to some of us, I think there's a hidden agenda. Mr. President has aides, the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami San, and other lawyers around him should advise him. For God's sake, it is laughable, and it appears we do not know what we are doing. Under my watch, this state will not accept open grazing. I have already briefed my lawyer should Mr. President insist on going ahead with the policy. Yes, I think we need more governors who can actually, stand, because obviously it seemed a lot of the southern governors are going by what the president said. Like, who does that in this century? You're talking about the 50s and comparing it to this time? It is, absurd. In the 50s, how many vehicles were on the roads? How many people even use vehicles? You should start from there. So even if you're talking about routes, you're looking for grazing routes, then you should first think about the means of transportation at that time. What was the major means of transportation in the 50s? That is what you should first think about. How many people are using cars at that time? So definitely there might be grazing routes where people can actually, graze their cows along, because there were no vehicle. In fact, there were no much roads, really. There were no roads. So most times, even the cars that they had at those points were just going through routes as well. So why is it now that there are roads everywhere? In fact, even some of the grazing routes the president is talking about, roads have been built on those places. So it is not even a problem of the governors. This is a national problem. And if only one person called the president or the presidency is insisting, then something is wrong. I mean, something is terribly wrong. How can one person continue to consider themselves like, they are the alpha and omega, making, concluding stuffs without even following the law because there's one northern law and that does not supersede the Nigerian law. So why is it so bent on ensuring that, you know, these grazing routes are used? And I love what Othom is doing. He has said it. He said he's not going by this. He's not following what the president is saying and is ready to take it on a legal ground. If they want to take it to court, he said if the president insists that there must be a grazing route or there must be a creation of a grazing route, he said then his state should be counted out, that he will never allow such thing to happen. And he's right for saying that because this is the 21st century, for crying out loud. How can you still allow cows to be walking on the roads when a cow wants to cross the major roads? Everyone stops. They allow them to pass. Who does that? We should be growing, not retrogressing. But the way things are turning out in the country today, it's obvious that Nigeria is retrogressing, which should not be. Nigeria is fast retrogressing, and we should think about things carefully. We shouldn't just jump into things and, at the end of the day, it will be something that will be disastrous for the country. Imagine how they are now instating Boko Haram into the Nigerian army. Who does that? How can you not think straight and decide to instate Boko Haram because they call themselves repentant Boko Haram? And the next thing you can think about is instating them into the Nigerian army. A lot of people have said a lot of things, but the president is a very adamant person. Whatever he wants to do, he does not even care if it's legal or if it's illegal. He just feels that, okay, whatever it is, if you feel it is not in the constitution, okay, let's amend the constitution to meet whatever thing we want to do. Who does things like that? You're not going to be in this position forever. And what you're trying to do is destroying the country even before you leave, which should not be the case. So definitely, I think the president should reconsider this because it's still going to cause another huge problem for the country. Yes, because other southern governors are yet to speak. Only Ortom have really taken the courage to stand his ground. So guys, that is it. Please drop a comment. Let us hear from you. And also give this video a thumbs up. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.